Okay, here's section 1.2, and let's look at multiplication of Z1 and Z2. Now, on the one hand, if I do Z1 times Z2, well, then that's X1 plus I Y1 times X2 plus I Y2. And so that becomes X1, X2 plus, minus, because I've got I and an I. So that's -1. So minus X1, or Y1, Y2. So there's that real portion. And then plus I. And I have X1, Y2 plus X2, Y1. And if I do that, that's just not very insightful. So it's true, it's algebraic and so forth, but it didn't really give me a lot of insight as to just what happened. Whereas if I go with the exponential form, then I have Z1, Z2 is equal to R1 e to the I theta 1, and then times R2 e to the I theta 2. Well, this shows me a lot. My new modulus is R1 times R2, and my new argument is theta 1 plus theta 2. Okay, so, what I see is arg of Z1, Z2 is theta 1 plus theta 2, or in other words, arg Z1 plus arg Z2. And I see that the absolute value of Z1, Z2 is equal to the absolute value of Z1 times the absolute value of Z2, R1 times R2. Well, yeah, I should probably write it that way first. So R1, R2, but that's just the absolute value of Z1 times the absolute value of Z2. Much more insightful about what you get when you do this product. Now the textbook uses the polar form, and so they start with R1 cosine theta 1 plus I theta 1. And same with R2 and theta 2. But then they use a trig identity. Well, we don't need to use a trig identity if we use this exponential form. The trig identity is sort of embedded in the exponential stuff there. So again, this exponential form is really nice. It gets you away from dealing a lot with trig identities and that kind of thing. We just get to use the laws of exponents. And so if I have this one point here and another one here, Z1, Z2, and then I multiply them together, well, there's theta 1, there's theta 2, and so if I add that much here, maybe I'm here, so this, I'll draw an arrow up there, is theta 1 plus theta 2. And then, here's R1 and R2. Where exactly that is, I'm not sure. If these are both greater than 1, it's going to be out here somewhere like this, and this will be R1, R2. you know, if if one or both of these is less than one, you know, then it'll actually be shorter than both of those. But there we go. There's multiplication. And again, this exponential form is very, very handy.